first question for the candidates is, the sub represents a space utilized by essentially everyone. What ideas and changes do you guys have in mind for the sub going forward if you guys were looking? Sorry?
One big thing that we talking to some students on campus that we'd like to see happen again is more events in Marshall Hall, such as concerts. I know that before we came here, the Blue Scholars performed there, and it was a huge hit with students. And things like that that are maybe a little small, maybe smaller scale than say Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, which was also a fantastic event that was put on by ASUPS. I really enjoyed it personally. But those events in Marshall Hall where students are here anyways because they're eating and then they can see that event going on and participate, I think would be a great way in using this space to the students' advantage.
Absolutely. I think there's so many times when people, if there's something going on in Marshall Hall, people will come in and see it and be like, oh hey, I want to go to that. If we utilize this space more, it's so accessible to students living on campus. This is like the central hub of our campus, and any event that is put on here is going to be noticed. So I think that is definitely a central part of it.
So, as I think a lot of us basically go, we agree with our candidates. We think that using Marshall Hall more for events is a great idea. We're actually working currently with the Northwest Sounds programmer to bring in more acts. We've been trying sort of a new system where we work with clubs, not just our programmers, just to bring groups in with our ASUPS employees and have them sort of pitch their ideas and things they want to see. So we're trying to bring in a reggae artist right now, which is an example of a sort of smaller scale, sub-focused concert, because I think the more music the merrier. In terms of the sub as a building, there's a remodel coming up, so it's sort of difficult to make plans like we're going to remodel all of Rendezvous or something like that. But we are committed to installing a cell phone repeater as soon as possible so that people can use their phones in the basement, because we got employees in KUPS, in the mailroom, in the cellar, who can't use their phone at all, and that's kind of a drag. And I think it would encourage people to spend more time down in the cellar and up Rendezvous.
Yes, and also we would work very closely with KUPS to bring more concerts and small events to Rendezvous, just because they know exactly, they have all the connections, they know which bands are going to explode, they know which bands are going to be hip and cool in the next year or so. We also are looking to make it so that we can showcase March Madness this coming March, so that students can actually watch the games during their lunch hours. For me personally, I basically live here in the sub. It's my second home, and so having that opportunity to see a game in a projector for free and having lunch is like ideal for me.
Thanks.
Awesome. So this is for the presidential candidates. Is that closer? So Tamanawas, our annual yearbook is likely to undergo some serious changes in the near future, and it's probably going to, as this is going to be probably our last printed publication. So we intend to keep the most essential traditions of the yearbook alive. So given this theme of adapting to these rapid changes, while still staying true to history and tradition, what role do you see ASUPS playing within this issue of Tamanawas?
Okay. Yeah, as some of you might know, Tamanawas actually underwent a huge budget cut already. We've significantly reduced the amount of them that we're printing this year, and it's probably going to be, as you said, the last year that we print the yearbook at all. So what we're going to do next year is put it online so that people can still enjoy it if they'd like to, and that way all we really have to pay for is a small staff to actually create the yearbook. We have those interested students who want to create a yearbook and document what's going on, so we want to give them an opportunity, an outlet to create something, just like the trail riders or anyone else. However, we don't think it's a good use of resources or ASUPS funds to print Tamanawas anymore. Santiago had the great idea of making a sort of online yearbook that's interactive, not just like you flip through pages and look at a picture of someone, but you sort of click on things and you can see videos and things that interest you and things that you were a part of. So ASUPS just bought a new camera, and we can use that to help shoot things. We can send people to more events and document them. And these are all things that we could put in this online interactive yearbook that would enable people to be more engaged and have something forever, not just a paper copy that they have to buy.
As you might imagine, I agree mostly. Also, what Scott said, a lot of that is in place already. These processes are already in place. I was also a part of the budget committee that helped cut that budget because those extra funds used for printing the publication, which ended up, so, I mean, you see tomato laws everywhere on campus, and usually it's not like that, I'm forgetting the word. Students aren't really drawn to it as much as, say, a textbook or something. So this online format would be a great way for students to still have that yearbook and the tradition of a yearbook without spending all the money and wasting all the resources, the paper, save the environment, promote our sustainability as well. So this online and interactive yearbook